Thank you, Commissioner Higgins, for coming here to Island TV and spending some time with us and letting us know how you feel or what's on your mind in regards to your campaign that you're running right now. You're running for mayor of Miami.
I am indeed. I'm one of the county commissioners now, and I've been doing that. I'm in my 8th year. I represent about 1/3 of the city now, and this November we are having an election to select a new mayor, and so I've decided to run for mayor.
What was the moment or moments you had that made you realize, okay, I want to run for mayor of Miami?
I live in Miami, and I love the city, obviously, or I wouldn't live there. But the past couple of years, the city government, it really hasn't worked for the people. There's just nothing but chaos on the dais, right? We've had all of this hullabaloo. We've had a commissioner arrested. We have others involved in lawsuits for millions and millions of dollars. Just on and on and on. And when City Hall's in chaos, nothing is getting done for the people. And in the meantime, I've gotten to see this firsthand because I represent 1/3 of the city in my role as county commissioner. We are looking at streets that are flooding, parks that were supposed to be renovated that aren't renovated, affordable housing that should be built that isn't even yet under construction because the city can't figure out how to permit this. What I learned from my time in city government is all of these things can happen more quickly. And I bring a great track record from the city, and I would like to do the same. I bring the track record from the county, so I'd really like to do the same for the city. It's time. It's time they have a mayor that just shows up in City Hall and works all the time on the things people need. We have a lot of poverty in the city of Miami, and we have a lot of great wealth. And we have got to find a way that we continue to work on this great, beautiful economy of ours, but we can't leave people behind. The existing mayor has done nothing but attract people from the outside, which is fantastic to see our economy diversifying. But that means it's gotten harder to afford a place to live if you've been a resident here for many years.
Can you go a little bit further in detail in regards to, like myself, I am a homeowner here in the state of Miami, Florida. And like we spoke earlier, the cost of living has been very difficult for a lot of the people who live here in Miami. If you have a home now, more than likely you could not afford your own home because of the price of housing. How would you address that? The
affordability crisis is pretty straightforward. If we want to solve the crisis, we actually have to build affordable housing. Right? I mean, that's a very, very straightforward. So when I took over as county commission, actually when I ran in 2018, I told people I was going to do 3 things, right? I was going to build affordable housing, expand rapid transit, and help small businesses grow. And then the night of the election, I was asked, what are you afraid of? And I'm like, winning, because I said I was going to do these things. And I had never built, I'm an engineer, so I have a lot of work experience, but I never built housing. And people told me I couldn't build affordable housing in my district because I represent downtown, Little Havana, very dense areas. But it ended up, when I looked around, the county owned over 60 acres of land. And county-owned land is the people's land, right? It's your land, it's my land. I think there's a song somewhere about that. But some of those land was just basic parking lots. So I just asked myself, what should be on this land? And how can we activate that for housing? And as I sit here today, we've built and renovated 4,000 units of affordable and workforce housing, and I've got 3,000 more in the pipeline. So if you can build 7,000 units of housing in one small district in 7 years, it can be done in the entire city. But the city just can't get out of its own way. The administration is inefficient. They can't get a permit issued for anything. These projects can take 4 to 5 years before you get a shovel in the ground. It's the exact opposite of the county. We can get these projects organized, permitted, and built in about 3 years less time than the city. That's how it has to be at the city. And every time we accelerate the construction of affordable housing, we are decosting the system for families. So I'm proud, that's my proudest accomplishment, right? 4,000 people have an affordable place to live that matches their income. And that's what we need. We need to make sure we are accelerating that construction. And for homeowners like you, the county has made it easier. For example, well, you're not so old, but there are people that are aging out, or there are people like you might want your mother-in-law to have a spot. So we've made accessory dwelling units so you could have your granny quarters, or when your kids graduate from college, they could have a small apartment attached to your house. That's another way of looking at affordability, so you can keep existing homeowners being able to afford their homes.
Now, you said the first three things that is part of your core. What would you do within the first 100 days of you winning the mayoral seat?
So, a couple things. I'll do exactly what I did at the county. I will survey city land to see if there are ways that we can immediately begin looking at housing projects. The second thing is I will be organizing a group of workshops, basically task force, to look at every system of permitting. If you're a homeowner, it can take you 2 years to get a permit to replace your old windows with hurricane-proof windows. That should be a 1-week approval process. So we're going to stand up all of that to look at how city services can be approved more quickly. Small businesses, I grew up in a small business family, so watched my dad start from scratch. And I have launched a program after President Biden passed the American Rescue Plan. We received, as in our commission districts, $2 million to invest. And I invested that in a network of support for small business owners. Since we launched that 3 years ago, over 1,000 small businesses have participated in all kinds of technical training, learned how to generate their own financial statements. Now we're doing how do you use artificial intelligence to help you manage your operations in a better fashion. And then most importantly, I've launched 2 revolving loan funds that are specific to small businesses in my district because they need access to capital. They don't have access to capital, they can't grow, and they're not ready for the big banks. I'd like to expand that immediately to go citywide.
And that would be within the first 100 days?
I think we can get all these things done in the first 100. I can't change everything in 100 days, but we can get all of this stuff started in the first 100 days.
Can we go into a little bit of more detail in regards to the public transit?
Yeah.
Okay, I know that you are working on public transit in regards to bringing multiple lines.
Yeah.
Can you speak a little on that?
Sure. I've managed to be lucky enough to chair our transportation committee at the county, and during that time, people had always talked about transit, but nobody really dug into the details to figure out how do we get funding for that. I'm an engineer, so I dug into it, and as a result, we received federal funds for 2 corridors. One is the South Corridor, which goes all the way down to Homestead. That should open in October. And the other is to bring commuter rail. This will be very important for the residents in the city of Miami. From downtown up to Aventura, we'll have stops on that heavily trafficked chock-a-block corridor of Biscayne Boulevard in Midtown, the Design District, Little Haiti, and then it will continue to North Miami Beach and also to the FIU Biscayne Bay campus. That is crucial to continue to make these public transportation options available. We talked about housing prices, but the top 2 expenses every one of us encounters cost of housing and cost of transportation. So think about it. If we're building affordable housing near reliable public transportation, we're making a family's life just much less expensive.
How could you go about helping small businesses that typically wouldn't get funding, wouldn't get loans from banks? What would you do to give these people access so that they'll be able to live their dream and starting a business, especially a business that's young, that's not even a year old?
Yeah.
How would you address that?
So one of the ways that we've done this with the Elevate program is we have technical assistance. So they're actually workshops and training that small businesses come together and learn. And I said it before, there's financial management skills, there's leadership skills. We have a 12-week program on Scale Up. And so what we have been doing with these small businesses is we're finding owners that are committed to their own professional development. They want to learn how to manage their small business better and grow. And then one of the prerequisites for participating in the revolving loan fund, these small loan funds, is that you have already participated in these technical programs where you have shown you have a great business, but you're also willing to invest in yourself to become a smarter business owner. And then we have a person or an organization managing that fund that's used to working with our small businesses, right? Our small businesses don't look like anybody else's, right? They're almost always immigrant-owned. They're almost always speak, a different language than English. So everything has to be done. Just because you only speak Spanish doesn't mean your business isn't fantastic. Just because you only speak Haitian Creole doesn't mean you don't have a great, vibrant business. So we need to make sure all those resources and training programs are available. And it's worked. This program, it's very cool. As a matter of fact, we're going to have a big workshop. People are invited on October 24th. I'll get you the open to the public so anyone can come. But we have people that have launched internationally. We have people that have gone from 1 location to 5 locations. It's just living proof that when you invest in small businesses, they can grow and succeed. Who wants to be nothing but a place where there's only chains?
Right.
I want our neighbors. I want to go into a restaurant owned by my neighbor. I want to go into a shop owned by my neighbor.
What would you say to the naysayers that sees what you want to do, that looks at your platform and have nothing but negative things to say about it? What would you say to them?
Listen, most people are skeptical that, I don't know, maybe I'm a little idealistic.
Mm-hmm.
I get up every day and I try to work for the people. That's it. People dismiss that all the time. I'm not from a long 30, 40-year history of a family that's been in power here forever. But what I can tell you is when I took over my seat, I took over from people that had been in there for 25 years. And they had not supported small businesses, they had not built affordable housing, and they had not got any mass transit lines funded. So I'm just different from them. I work for the people, I care about the people, and I really do hope they'll learn about everybody that's running for mayor, not just me. But the city matters.
Right.
We're the flagship brand for Miami-Dade County, right? We're a big county. But the city, when people think of this place, they think of Miami. And it is important that the leader of Miami be someone that doesn't just attract people from outside and make sure that tourists have a good time here, but that looks at our deep, deep issues. We have deep inequity here. We have poverty here. We have neighborhoods that I don't know why they haven't paved the roads, but there's potholes in our residential neighborhoods. And that has to stop, in my opinion. This needs to be a place where, yeah, we have some fancy people here. We love that. That makes it glamorous. But where we benefit and where we live well and have access to opportunity.
Commissioner Eileen Higgins is running for mayor of Miami.
November 4th. Don't forget.
I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
And hopefully I'll see you in the mayor's office, eh?
We'll see. I'll give you my number. You can come on by, and then you talk to lots of people, so you'll let us know what else needs to be done.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank
you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Cliff St. Hubert, Island TV.